Hello there and welcome. It is time for round 4 of Battle for Breath. And this time we've got Alex playing Ewoks, and Brandon is playing Moff and Morgan together. So definitely interesting pairings that I'm looking forward to seeing after the patch. I haven't really played with or against Ewoks very much, so um, looking forward to seeing that. His list is Freedom Fighter Leia with um, C3PO and the Ewok Trappers. They're on the bottom. You can see the big bases of the Ewoks um, down bottom right. And then Logray has Wicket and the Rebel Commandos um, who are on the kind of top right, making sure that all those points are covered. They're of course playing on shifting priorities. On the other side, we have Morgan's box, obviously, and then Moff with Death Trooper Escort and Fifth Brother. So if you're kind of optimizing for Morgan's box and trying to have a lot of stormtroopers in there for the sake of the night troopers, this is probably not what you would land on. Um, However, he is bringing a full Empire Premier list, which in that I do think that Moff, Death Trooper Escort, and Fifth Brother is a really good squad that can go with a few different things. And he does have Thrawn as one of his other primaries. However, um, Thrawn is bringing the stormtroopers because the only pairing he played Thrawn in is with Veers. So, um, so Thrawn was bringing Stormtrooper Sergeant and Deaths, while Veers was bringing Snowtrooper Lieutenant and Shore Troopers, which he did pair with Morgan a couple times, but he also played this Morgan Moff pairing a couple times. So, um, so yeah, let's see how this goes. It's like I said, it's um, shifting priorities, and it looks like Alex was a first player. So let's get started. So it looks like he's getting the trappers here. Deployment was a little bit awkward around that building on the bottom right. Oh, he's looking at advances for the Rebel Commandos. So I do know that Ewoks have a lot of movement that they can give out, but I'm not super familiar. So we're gonna have to see. He's making one Rebel Commando is making an advance to the ladder. Is this like a wicket, or is it? Um, Logray gives out dashes to scouts um on his tactic. Wicket also gives out dashes, and they have to be um within 3. Oh, does Leia give out advances? That's what it is. Um, she gave, yes, Freedom Fighter Leia is activating, gave the Rebel Commando a advance to the ladder and up, and then went forward onto the center objective. So I guess getting central to get that coordinated fire bubble out for the expose to really help with the offense. I do on shifting like to try and grab two of those midpoints early on, but I mean he's got his coordinated fire expose and damage both set up in the middle of the board, so ready to um, do some killing here. It's going to be Morgan on the other side, though, who also likes to do some killing. Let's see if he uses the manipulating hand to get one of them out of range 2 of their allies so that he can get 3 extra dice on this. I assume he looked at the top card and put it back on top to get the dash and focus. Oh, not doing manipulating hand first, so just 7 in focus. 2 blocks on the defense, which is not going to be ideal. Getting a crit off the expertise. Damage block 2. Getting 4 in a damage, which will do either 7 and strain. And that's the thing. Could have done 6 disarm strain. What's her health? Because yeah, she's gonna do manipulating hand. She's got 10 health. I might have done, if you did took the top, like if you didn't do the disarm, you could do 7 damage and strain, and then do the manipulating hand to strain. Oh yeah, taking the ladder down too. But anyway, then this would be just wounding her. Gonna flip the center though, and gonna be easy to wound at some later point. Looking at the trappers again, seeing how much where they can get with an advance. That's dangerously close to a pre-measure, but anyway, it's casual. We're keeping it casual. It was a charity event. It's fine. So clarifying how scale works, planning out his movement, and you know, making sure that when he uses the stealthy, stealthy approach. Yes, that gives the dash, basically the defensive maneuver. That he'll be able to do the climb off of that. So one's going to take the ladder. That one's going to move just straight forward. So paying 1 for stealthy approach, doing a climb. We're really fighting over the center point. I mean, if they get far enough down, they do have a reposition that that one of them could go over to the other point, but Gonna take the coordinated fire damage. So he's hoping to get the wound on this, I guess. They don't have a super. I mean, unless they full tree, that'll give them 5 plus damage off expertise. They'd have to like full tree on both attacks here. So taking the focus, not the hunker, off of stealthy approach. So 7. Getting the full tree. Damage off the expertise. So that will be a total of 7 at this point because of the coordinated fire damage. So he's going to reposition over to that objective. I guess he was pretty confident on the full tree there. Or was he doing... I must have done the expose, coordinated fire expose on the first one. Which makes sense. You know, the one where you need to get down the tree to get over to the other point. This one's doing the damage, so... So, I mean, yeah, Morgan would have had the 2 damage on her already from manipulating hand. So, yeah, I see how he could be fairly confident on that wound. He just needs one of them to go full tree, basically. Gonna do the shove on this one. I assume we're getting the wound. Yeah. What is that? Is that Logray's thing? Yeah, when Ewok wounds, so we got expertise, character in an allied unit may dash. That's interesting. Who got to dash? Each character. Okay, I guess the 2 of them. It's the unit that activated, or the unit that got the wound, gets to dash. So we probably just move the one up, I guess, onto the point. Sitting on top of it, so would have scored 3 on that, so avoiding landing on 0. So the Ewoks are not steadfast because 3PO's on against my programming, so that's what's giving them the scale. Oh, and can climb unengaged. They do have to be within 5 though. So yeah, they would be, which not sure. Yeah, they might. Yeah, they might have been within range 5 of 3PO to get that scale when he used it there. Looks like we're getting someone from Morgan's squad, either the Night Troopers or Enoch, planning out the turn. Each of them can have a dash and their normal move action, so there's not really yeah, not really can't really tell from that, but it does look like the Night Troopers. No. Oh, no, just the one. The one only has one person on it, it looks like. So yeah, it is the Night Troopers activating. Um, there's yeah, both moved first and then did their dash. So one's grabbing the point on the top middle. Other one is going to hit the Ewoks, so they are. Well, they didn't have any. I guess no, they would have got a hunker token at the end of their activation, but that will be gone now. Night Troopers do have early shoves. Probably need 2 to get them off the objective. But that is 3 steps. Only 5 dice, though. Two blocks. Looking like... Okay, 3 through. It's hard to tell with the glare between the fails and the hits on those attack dice, but... So gonna do the 3 damage and expose. It's just gone for the 4. But what's their expertise like? Whoops. They just got clone armor. 8 8 health. But yeah, the 2 shoves are gonna get them off the objective. The other Night Troopers are gonna, I guess, probably just finish off Leia over there. Should be in range. She has better defense, so not sure if it'll go through, but let's see. Oh, shooting the trappers again. Oh, so the one from the top must have shot first. That makes sense. 5 dice. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, better attack. One more attack die, one less defense die. That makes sense. So now the other one gets to shoot as well into an exposed target. Two blocks. I'm seeing a few crits over there. Expertise. Seems like only the 2 steps though. Maybe that's an expertise, not a crit. So, 2 damage and shove, or 3 damage and shove. Let's see, the exposed didn't end up mattering. That 1 damage would have been no, would not have been a wound. So, never mind. So he will get the point, both points. So we getting 3. Looks like we're going with the Rebel Commandos here. It's measuring out potential dashes. I do. Oh. Maybe not. Logray, it sounds like, because he's going through Ewok Warriors gain hunkers and remove damage or condition. Scouts get dash. And the one trapper is within range 5 of 3PO, so they get to climb. Commandos taking a dash to ladder down. Another one dash forward. What does Logray got? He's got the same stealthy approach. Now, is he going to be able to get up there? It does have a ranged attack. Range 4, early shoves on Wisdom of the Woods. So I wonder. I mean, you definitely want shoves because Night Troopers wounding them isn't going to get you the point. I do wonder if the dash probably can't get him in range. Well, he wants the dash for the focus. If he just moves first, he'd be more likely to get in range to do the shot, and then maybe after follow-ups be able to get up onto the point. Trying to figure out. Okay, so looking at take cover then dash, but can't do that and get the Night Trooper off, so well, I guess it's the Elder's Command he's looking at. You'd be looking at for the commandos. Take cover. Okay, so he did the stealthy approach first, then take cover. Now he's climbing. But it wasn't enough to get him on the right elevation. I assume he's going to use Elder's Command to try and have the commandos push off. So they get a dash and 5 dice, but just doing the 5 dice stack. 3 expertise, I think that's 2 hits. 3 blocks, just the crit, which will be pin and a damage. It's not what he was looking for on that one. But he will be flipping the center, the highly valued center point. And so we'll score 3. But if he gets somebody in, if Brandon gets somebody in Moff squad, they can easily take that bottom point. If it is Moff, well, the distance to climb. If so, what he could do if he gets Moff. I don't know if he picked Moff, but he's thinking. So I'm gonna talk about it. He could dash Moff and Fifth Brother forward. Long live the Empire, Fifth Brother to that bottom point, take cover, hopefully be able to hit that ladder with Moff for the center point and be able to flip both for 4, which would be the big swing that he needs to kind of really, really be pulling things to his side here. Measuring out an advance for somebody. So, but I do think, like, who would be given the advance? Because Fifth Brother doesn't have damage, so Death Trooper Escort isn't going to be able to give it a reposition. Like, I guess maybe he wants to give the dash to Death Trooper Escort and then see if Long Live the Empire gets Moff, gets Fifth Brother there, like, just on its own. But I would, like, who's on that side of the board that hasn't activated 3PO? So I would just get, like, you put Fifth Brother on the center of that point, and he's going to hold it for a while. Yeah. Yeah, he's giving Fifth Brother the dash. And see, so Moff should get his dash first. He gave him the advance, but Moff should also be getting his dash. So yeah, I think he's missing the tactic dash on Moff. Unfortunately, it does seem like it would probably be a stretch to try and get to that ingress point that that the night troopers used to get up, and Morgan on the other side of that building, but if he can, right, if he can shove one of the Ewoks off, so not steadfast, and get under it, then he would also flip the point because he tie breaks. He'd be contesting from below, so that would also work if he remembered his dash. But he might luck out and get two shoves in order to be contesting, hopefully. Or he just wounds them, and that flips the point too. Which should be much easier because I think they have like 2 health left. So, hence why I guess we're not super worried about getting them off to that point. But this is a big swing, though. If you can score 4 and the wound, that's a good swing. I think you got 4 down, so 5 damage strain. Gonna use the force ability for free. Gets a heal, it's not gonna matter. So yeah, along with the Empire. Up against the building, yeah. Make him a real pain to move. Yeah, 4. So, very nice Moff turn. The reason that I've been playing Moff for quite some time, and it makes me sad that he is not currently in my premier list that I will be bringing to grand tournaments, but maybe he should be. Maybe he should be. Just with Morgan instead of Grand Inquisitor, but that, let me know in the comments how you guys are doing with Morgan, because the Morgan Veers list, I was skeptical at first. I'm like, is Veers bringing enough? But that list, it just like it can really floor people. One of our locals has been doing very well with it, so I stole his list and started practicing against it. Like, how do I beat this list? And then it just keeps winning. So it's like, just play the list. it's winning. But other people who get to play more games than I do um, are not so hot on Veers. So they've gone to things like Moff with Morgan, Iden with Morgan. Um, and so I tried the Morgan or the Moff list once there with Death Trooper Escort and Death Troopers, and it felt okay. Um, it definitely had a good amount of control. It's the, I mean, this is technically this is the same problem for Morgan Veers, but it felt like terrain, like you're giving out dashes, you're not like nobody's jumping, which seems a like terrain might be an issue. But my other list, of course, has a ton of jumps with um, Kit and Sabe handmaidens, or if I'm switching to Rebel Commandos, so should probably think about terrain. Like if I keep the lists as they are. Um, anyway, Rebel Commandos are going to activate here, and they're using their ability to dash, gain focus and hunker. Um, so close. I think the top one is going to shoot at the Night Trooper on the top objective. I assume the other one will be trying to push the Night Trooper off the center. Good block from the Night Troopers. 3 blocks. Should be 4 from the expertise. A fourth from the expertise. Should also be turning a crit down, or expertise down. But maybe didn't. Maybe save it for the second one. Because, yeah, the shove. One shove wasn't enough to get them off the top. So getting. Maybe they were exposed. 3 blocks. So 2 down. 2 damage shove. Okay, they're both going for the one on the top there, so getting the shove. Try to shove them off at that point. I guess the Rebel Commandos have a move action left, so they can double up on the center in order to take that, which will score 3. It'll land on 0, give them both the momentum. Take cover. Just get them both on the point. Get them a hunker. So momentum on the 6. They just landed on 0. Oops. Oh. What are they going? What's Brandon gonna do? It's either gonna be Enoch, Death Trooper Escort, or Shatterpoint. Death Trooper Escort would be a good pull here. He can. Well, the Night Troopers might be pinned. Is the problem? Yeah, he's remembering now. Unnatural Vigor, I think, which is the turn expertise to fail, which might have helped Might have helped avoid the shove on the first attack. But anyway, I think they are pinned. I was thinking Death Trooper Escort could give them a reposition, take back that top middle point, and then go for the center himself. But yeah, that isn't going to work. If you could get Shatterpoint and go with Moff, it's always the answer. Then he could get close enough to the Night Troopers, recover, use Long Live the Empire to get that one on the top to that point, and then he just gets to the center and takes it, whether he gets to do an attack as well or not. But oh yeah, Death Trooper Escort moves both, so he could have one get rid of the pin first. Is he shatter pointing the Night Troopers? I mean, that would also work. Well, except, yeah, the one on the center isn't going to flip that point. Shooting. So 6 attack dice, but I think they'll have 7 or 8 defense dice. Yeah, 8 defense dice, 5 natural blocks. Seems like nothing's happening there. They have 3 health left. So, gonna try again. If you could just get 2 crits through, that would wound them. Just 1 through for damage and a shove. I was shooting at Leia here. She had 3 health left? Must have healed something somewhere. Oh, maybe from Logray? Was his thing remove 2 damage? Yeah, warrior, gain a hunker, remove 2 damage, or a condition. I see. Alright, well, he flipped 1 and got the 3. Who... Oh, battle tactic. Got an expertise, which is 2 damage and pin on... what? Night Troopers? 200 pin expertise, yeah. Enemy unit. So, but that is an enemy effect. So yes. Night Troopers stand back up. So it's not going to flip the point on the top. Looks like we've got Wicket going here. What's he looking like? He's got early shove or two. His enemy didn't let us sight. Lead the charge. So choose an enemy in line of sight and an allied Ewok supporting unit within 3. Well, yeah, no one's within 3. That's not going to work. Okay. Each character in this unit and the chosen may dash towards. So he can't actually see that Night Trooper on the high ground. But, I mean, Enoch is the direction he wants to go anyway, so that would work. Realizing that his tree looks like a slingshot. So yeah, he's getting his tactic dash toward Morgan. That also works. Stealthy approach. Get the dash in focus. And then he's going to climb. Make sure that he is engaged because he has line of sight. It's in melee because he gets 7 dice, 8 because of melee, or 8 because of focus. Yeah, should be pretty easy to get those 2 shoves. That is, so he's going to remember, well, they are injured now, so not sure if he wants to pay the force for the expertise down. Wicket getting 4 down. Maybe he's considering. I don't think an expertise down is going to help unless it was 1 expertise. Then it will actually get rid of 2 hits. But it looks like, yeah, he's getting his 2 shoves through. Okay, so we'll flip that point for 3. But landing on 0 again, which is just helping Brandon out, unfortunately. Gets Death Trooper escort. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know if Fifth Brother has any damage on him to be getting the reposition instead of the dash, but I don't think anyone attacked. Oh no, because yep, Long Live the Empire did damage. So yep, that works. He'll snag that point from 3PO, even though they're both on the ground. He's tie breaking, and then he'll get to move. Dash, get the tactical advance. Going to be shooting at the Rebel commandos, trying to finish them off in order to flip that point while sitting on the point that Fifth Brother was on. 9 dice on defense, so 9 against 9. Two down. Disarm, damage, shove. I don't know how much damage he needed, but must have been more than 3. So he could have done 3 and a strain on the top, but gonna do the shove. Again, Moff is unfortunately not underneath the objective to tie break for him. But he will flip one because of Fifth Brother. And that's where I might have sent. Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't going to be able to shoot and then do a move of some sort. So, yeah, it seems like the ingress point is not close enough to that Moff squad so that they can get to that center point. So it sounds like Alex is getting 3PO, and he only has 1 force left, so he can't reserve even if he wanted to. So if 3PO's only, I mean, they're only going to be able to flip 1 point realistically. Oops. They got the active ability to give themselves and Ewok support within 4 dash or attack. Or the healing or hunker or whatever. But I don't know if he's getting in range of the Rebel Commandos. Even if he does, the dash isn't going to get him another point. So he's going to move. Oh, they only have melee attacks. I guess they don't have guns, so makes sense. But this is definitely not the activation that's going to help him get this struggle, unfortunately. He dashed in with Brilliant Oration, I think. Hitting with Angry Trilling. 2 expertise, hit a damage, gets a crit. Nope, forgetting about Steadfast and Protection on Fifth Brother there. Because he did the full 2 shoves, 2 damage, I think. And now he's in the Steadfast stance. Anyway, still, either way, getting the 3 points and landing on 0. So if Brandon can get 4 points here, which he should be able to, with Fifth Brother, easily take the doing the coordinated fire damage. Yeah, Fifth Brother can definitely go up and take the point from 3PO. Can he get a wound in the process? It's possible. However, unlikely. Oops. But what could he do? I mean, it looks like he picked Enoch, but Anyway, he'd have to get a full tree and a damage from the expertise to get the 8, which is not likely. But even with, like, if he could focus, but the jump's not going to get him there. So definitely get the Moff die for 8, but anyway, Enoch is moving and going to try to get the wound on Leia. If he can then dash to the ladder for the center, that would get him 3 points. Should be able to get the wound on Leia. 2-1 on the center, so should be able to finish this off. Not a great looking attack roll, though. I'm seeing 3 hits. Expertise is 2 hits. 4 blocks. He doesn't have any crits. He is getting the 1 step for 2 damage to get the wound. Very nice. It's going to pay 1 for by your command. Get the Night Trooper. Oh yeah, get the Night Trooper up onto the top middle objective, and the center point's not going to be active struggle 2. So yes, better to get Enoch doubling up on that point. Very nice, finishing off the struggle. So it's either the bottom left and middle, and Alex's mid on the right, or mid left, top 2. Last activation will be. Or was that 7? Anyways, picking middle on Brandon's side, and then the top 2. He does have decent presence on that top middle objective, around the top middle, so I can see that. I mean, 3PO is already on. Well, no, that one wouldn't be up. Yeah, being able to get the 2 on the bottom left and middle, not great. And I'm not sure if he shattered. Maybe he might have shatter pointed Logray because he's getting Logray now. And I don't. Yeah, Fifth Brother hasn't gone for Brandon yet, so I think this is the last card in the deck. So gonna move. Is that Leia onto the top right? Ewok Trapper on the center. Gets rid of the pin. The other one dashes to the ladder and down. Kind of going towards that back middle point. Ewok, or not Ewok, Commando dashing to the ladder and up. seeing that he can advance across the gap to try and get to that middle point at some point. Does he have? He doesn't have any ways to give advances, but Leia does. So future planning. So priority is where he's already putting people, so that's good. Got one of the rebel commandos on the back point, which is priority. Logray is the one activating, so that is also good. Just needs to shove Night Trooper off and get down to that point. Be scoring 3 here. Logray gonna take a bit of a run here. It's got move action. You're gonna take cover and then do a stealthy approach, dash, get to the ladder, and up to take the back point. So it was between that and pushing off the Night Trooper and coming down, which is slightly less guaranteed. So solid play. You want to be having a good start to struggle 2. So makes sense. All right, so fifth brother activating using force jump to get to the ladder and up. And then we'll see how far his advance can get him. Yeah, it seems like it gets him onto the point. I think Leia's wounded at this point, so he should take that, which looks like it's the priority. So at least get the 2. Or, no, because he's got the middle point already, so we'll get 3, it'll land on 0. We'll each get our momentum. But he does have an action left to do an attack as well. Into the Rebel Commando. I think should be rolling 4, I think, in melee. Anyway, getting 4 down and a damage. So that will be get the active ability, 5 damage strain. Maybe do the expose, because you don't need 2 shoves. Doing the force repulse. Now he does need to be careful that he's not putting more people contesting the other objective. They're of course on the ground, and Leia's wounded, but just something to think about for sure when you're resolving that. That you're not actually helping your opponent in the process. But he's gonna grab that. 3, each get a momentum. Back to Alex. It's gonna be the fail, so he'll be happy that he went for the back point with Logray. See, and it sounds like he's pulling Leia, so good to have pushed her off of that point as well. So she's gonna give an allied Rebel Alliance character an advance. So she could put the Rebel Commando and herself back on that point. However, the Rebel Commando is strange, so looking at the Hunter or Ewok Trapper that's in the center, kind of not doing anything. Both of them. I think they're wounded though, so I don't think that helps much. Wicket's already on an objective. Um, Do you move 3PO just to get the bubble in a more relevant spot? Because the supports are either wounded or strained. Logray's on the other side of the board. Wicket's on a point. I wonder if you could even send 3PO to the ladder towards the center. Really get him a good amount of distance, which would help. Then, then all your um, rebels and Ewoks within 5 are going to be steadfast. And then maybe Leia goes for the point that Wicket's already on. Because she could probably shove. Let's see. She doesn't have great shoves, but if she gets in melee on stealth mission, 2 shoves on 3 steps, should be able to get Enoch off the point, and then sit there and flip it. She does have explosive charge. Looking at the bomb, within 3 allied may dash. So I mean that's 2 force to do 2 damage to whoever's on the point. Could pick that one with the Night Troopers and Enoch. Rather than just doing 2 to Fifth Brother. So she's going to use Infiltrate on herself. Advance onto the point with Fifth Brother. Wonder if he's just going to try to focus and hit him to try and push him off, because probably just needs the 1 shove to get through. So as long as he can get 3 steps, that is doable. Nope, rewind. Using the bomb, which would cost 3. I don't know how I feel about that, unless it's like getting a wound for you. So maybe she just moves just off of the point with the infiltrate. Okay. Gonna move the trapper in, even though they're wounded. I mean, get them close to the points, but I have not run Ewoks, so I shouldn't be giving advice, but I do feel like, because also that point bottom right, which would be the top right on the card, has 0 chance of being active in Struggle 3. So, so there's no point leaving 3PO there, and you want their bubble, I feel like. So I would just move them in the middle when moving the trappers isn't gonna get you anywhere anyway, but not on this turn. But okay, getting the wound on fifth brother, it sounds like. I guess I guess the bomb was helping to get that wound, so between corner of fire from rebel commandos, um was he already strained? No. Hmm. Oh, unless he was on frontal assault. Got a damage from the expertise, 2 damage on one step. So 2 would go through, +1 from coordinated fire. So yeah, 3 damage after 2. So if he had 4 damage on him already, um, can't remember what 3PO did, or R2 did to him on that previous activation. Did get a couple shoves through. He might have done the 4. Because they did push him off the objective, so he wouldn't have had protection anymore. Poultry would have been 5 and strain. Ooh, I wonder if he had to take strain damage as well. Hmm. Anyway, scoring 3. 3 points away from winning this struggle. Looks like, I don't know if he rolled for priority or if it's going back to that point that Leia just took from fifth brother. Getting Death Trooper either getting Death Trooper escort or shatter pointing at him. It's going to reposition the Night Troopers now. He put one on the top left, which on the card is the bottom right, which is also another point that has 0% chance of being active in Struggle 3, but um, not not aware of that, I guess. But in his attempt to set up for Struggle 3, put them over there, but that one was actually good where it was. You kind of um, yeah, that midpoint has a decent chance of being active. The whole midline really. Center Center has the highest chance of being active. He's got a night trooper on there as already, I think. Yes. Um, Death Trooper escort is actually pretty good where he is. If the rebel commandos aren't wounded, I would finish them off and just where sit where he is. Um, because yeah, top, he's gonna get to pick the orientation. So it's really basically all the points except for, from our perspective, top left, bottom right, which on the card is bottom right or bottom left, top right. Um, those ones have no chance. The other ones all have a decent chance, but if he's gonna be able to pick the layout, so he could kind of shift one way or the other, um, being able to choose. The point that Logray's on is one that can is pickable on any card. Um, 2 of the cards just have the center on no matter what. 2 or 3 cards Two cards you can pick mid left and or mid right. Ah, yeah. So we did just take a shot. I assume at Rebel Commandos and sit on that bottom midline point, which is good play. Alex is trying to finish it off. He needs 4 points. So he just needs to get another body onto that top mid point. So not bad to move the Night Trooper off. Just make it easier to wrap up the struggle and get into the next one while stuff is still wounded. But he took the full movement, which I would have liked, even if that corner point was um, had potential to be active. Just kind of have them on the edge of it. That way, if it is that top midpoint again, they're a dash away instead of being like basically a full advance away. But Logray is coming in to going to the ladder and getting the focus from stealthy approach. Oops. So 8 dice into Enoch, melee, so that'll be Omen of Strength. Crit and damage on 1 expertise, but that is 1 to 3. On 4 expertise, then he gets a second crit. Sounds like that didn't do anything, so but he did flip the point, scored 4. Alright, so picking, so Logray's now vacated that back point. So he's picking the one where he has Death Trooper Escort on the bottom mid, left middle from our perspective is open, and he has pretty easy access to that. If you get in like a Night Trooper, Morgan, Moff, any of them could get there easily. And then Fifth Brother's on that top left point, or top right from our perspective. So he just needs to wake up and he'll take it. It looks like priority. They've put the priority on Death Trooper Escort's point, so that's good for Brandon. See, now he's looking. Now he's looking at the dash for the Night Troopers, where that's gonna get him. Is that gonna get him onto that other point? But that's not an active point anymore, so I would look to get that one to the other high ground point. So Moff Gideon is activating, dashing Death Trooper Escort. Might be forgetting about his Night Trooper up there. Would have probably given them a dash because they're within 4. He's going to do a climb up to the ladder and down on that point. Does he have anyone to shoot at, or maybe he'll just hunker? Gonna shoot Rebel Commando, so they must not be wounded yet. 2 health left. And they're exposed. So, on self-interest, that is 1 step. And he's got a crit on expertise. 2 natural crits, so that will definitely be a wound. Is he going to get free along with the Empire? Taking the middle track, doing the damage needs, plus strain, but they already are strained. It's going to get free along with the Empire. So I assume he will give the Night Trooper a reposition. See, and that's where if he had a dash that one in the middle, although I don't know if he could fit with all those big bases on that kind of central building. I don't know if he would have fit, but maybe he could have gone on the ground and then repositioned over, at least tied up the point with Leia. So, going to reposition Fifth Brother onto that top right objective, even though he's wounded. So he doesn't suffer the 2 damage, which is nice. He's in position to just focus and hit Leia whenever he activates, so not bad either. So he will have scored 3 there. Momentum for the wound. Priority point is the one that Death Trooper Escort is on. And I think he's fully healthy, so it's a fresh deck. You'd have to pin him in order for him to not use Discipline to come back, even if you can get him shoved off, but he's nestled in on the building. So I think 3PO is activating, so the chances of him flipping a point are next to 0. The shove side does not do pin, it does do strain. But, I mean, if you full trees, no. Even if you full trees and gets damage off the expertise, it's still only 5 damage through protection, so strain wouldn't matter. So, and I would just prevent the point flip here, because it's not like 1 point, and then you only have to worry about flipping 1 back is a good situation to be in for sure. Now he's thinking about the ability to do the extra 5 dice attacks, but I feel like it's a stretch because like early, I mean, the trappers have damage on the expertise, 2 damage on the first step, but on 2 steps, second step's just a shove. 3PO. Okay, yeah, they're backing up because yeah, there's like very low chances of him flipping that point. I mean, they got 2 shoves on 2, but like very little damage, like one damage on the 2 steps, which through protection is nothing. Sounds like the commandos are activating. So they're on the other side of the board. Um, Better chance of getting a wound though. But he's already spent 3 to 6 force on Leia's activation to do the bomb. He'd have to spend another 2 to get their dash and focus. So take his move action. So remove the pin from waking up. They're taking 3 damage from the strain. They're keeping their disarm. So he's thinking shoot shoot with the guy that's close to Death Trooper Escort first, in case he just crazy high rolls. I mean, he's not going to one shot him, but if he crazy high rolls, he could shoot into Moff. The other one could shoot into Moff. This is a disarmed attack. So nothing is getting through. It's got 3 blocks on defense. So impossible to get the wound because they can do 7 damage, pin disarm, but I think Death Trooper Escort's fresh, so. I mean, if he can get if he can get the reposition, they can get both of them onto the point to flip it. 6 dice, so maybe he's still shooting Moff anyway. Four steps. So taking the bottom, so 3 damage, pin, 2 shoves, 2 heals. Make sure he gets shoved off. First follow up, second follow up. He is in. So he did flip that one, but he'll get 2 points and momentum for not crossing 0, and then sounded like mission critical was called. So I think he should have got a momentum for that. Priority looks like it's Death Troopers Escorts points again. So Enoch is going next. Paying for buyer command. Gonna dash Night Trooper. Wonder if they'll be contesting. Depends where that point is on the tower. But Enoch gets a dash as well. As long as he gets to the ladder, he'll be taking that point. Confirming. Yep, up he goes. Gonna shoot the commandos. There is a chance that they get a reposition, which would not be great. So, Alex being nice, pointing out that they do have a reposition on 3 expertise. And therefore, they could reposition up to tie the point. So Enoch is just going to hunker instead. Get 3 mission critical, so he needs these 3 away to block again. Death Trooper escort just manning that priority point, which is really not helping Alex out on this this struggle. Now, in this case, 3PO could get himself and the commandos onto one of the commandos onto the objective, getting 2 there, and which would guarantee the point. But going with Ewok trappers. Oh, excuse me. We're gonna move and take cover, get 2 bodies there. You're really not, 3PO is really not an activation that you are looking forward to. So I can see wanting to just keep going through the deck, get your supports up. He's scoring 3, so he's gonna land. They're gonna land on 0 and each get a momentum. Plus, Alex gets mission critical. Lucky, nice roll for Brandon. Priority point being the one he already has. Ooh, that 3PO reserve. That reminds me. So Brandon's reserving whoever he picked. The 3PO reserve would have costed 2. So Alex is running on 1 force. He's down to the 1 force after just the 2 activations on this deck, which is not ideal, especially when supports are wounded and all that. Looks like Night Troopers are activating, seeing how far he can get. So seeing if Night Trooper can fit hitting in a spot able to hit that ladder. Oh yeah, ingress up to top level. It's real good distance there. So trying to get both of them over to that top right point with Leia. Is he just doing the dash too? Oh yeah, because they're engaged. Interesting. So I don't think he gets both over there. I wonder if it would have been like, I know he gets the ingress, but I wonder if it would have been better to do the dash first if he has the force for it, and then get both of them the full advances And if they can get an attack, like they've got shove on 1, so that, um, that gets them a good amount of distance. He's doing. They're doing it. Oh, that's right. They're wounded, so Dark Innervation is an advance, not a dash. So he does still get the advance there. That's right. So they will get onto that point. It'll be melee attacks into Leia. Not a great roll on her side. Getting 2 steps, 3 damage shove. Unless he wants to expose. 2 damage and expose. Okay. The shove. What's her expertise like? It's not amazing. Basically clone armor, except a crit to hit, which doesn't affect anything. If you've got enough hits, which in melee, their expertise is giving them extra hits, so I mean, yeah, I don't know. Either way, they're gonna take the point, gonna shove her off. So, again, 3 down on this one. So that could be 4 damage, 2 shoves. Yeah, going with that on this one. I think she's got like 4 health left, so that 1 damage didn't affect anything. The expose, well, he took away dice, so that expose must have done something. 3 in mission critical, 1 away from winning. So fail. Alex is getting Wicket, who could get to that priority point. Can he shove Enoch off? Good question. Good access to shoves. Shove on 1. So it's possible. I'm not going to flip both. The hunters, or the trappers, are on the other side of the board, along with the rebel commandos, so though he could have. Oh no, he doesn't have. He doesn't have the tactical network type ability, so that's Logray. So yeah, he's gonna run over, hit Enoch with 7. Should get the shove at least. Two getting through. 1 shove, 2 damage. Either strain or disarm. He's getting. Yeah, it looks like he's got a good angle for the shove, so he will be able to flip that point. But that will score him 3, putting them on 0, which will get them each momentum. Meaning, as close as his momentum is coming to, so, but Bryn just needs to get 3 points. Death Trooper Escort, holding down that Oh no, he doesn't have that. So, well, yeah, he needs to score. He needs to score two. So, either a wound or flipping a point. Sounds like he's going for a wound. Um, and it sounds like he got it. So there's the handshake. Very, very down to the wire in the end, um, despite what seemed like a fairly handy struggle one for the Empire. Um, because it was a fresh deck going into struggle three, that did mean that the Ewok side was all kind of waking up at the start of that. He was able, he used a lot of force coming out of the gate, um, which might have slowed things down as the struggle went on, but um, he was able to make some plays, get the trappers where they needed to go just with the move and take cover rather than having to use their force ability. Um, Rebel commandos didn't use their force ability, stuff like that. So, um, uh, yeah. Anyway, nice to see Ewoks on the table. It sounds like Alex has been playing Ewoks quite a bit since they released, so happy to see that on the table. Also getting a Morgan Moff pairing on the table, um, even though I think if you're optimizing that list, I mean, Fifth Brother's always good, but doesn't quite lean into the Stormtrooper synergy that is kind of happening with the Night Troopers and Enoch and all that. But managed to pull out the win, so good job, Brandon. And that was round four, which means next round will be round five, the final round of um, Battle for Breath. And before I sign out, just a quick shout out to Kenny and Nick for their support through Patreon. Greatly appreciated. And soon, of course, going to be going to Evergreen Open in a couple weeks in August, and seeing Kenny there. We'll see if I end up playing him round one or not. But thank you guys for your support. It means a lot. And if you want to support my channel, you can take a look at Patreon, link in description, and get into the Discord for the patrons, where I've been sharing work in progress for my painting or the final versions of my painting of miniatures. I just painted Morgan. I also put that up on my channel. But anyway, you'll see some more work in progress stuff, some talk about kind of tournament lists and prep and kind of premiere lists that I'm thinking about. What would you, if you saw this premiere list, what would you play into it? Trying to figure out weaknesses and stuff like that. That's some ideas around. So take a look at that, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one.